And we peacefully did it. Still got our heads cracked. Our skulls cracked on the ground. My grandfather, my grandmother, we hurt him. We hurt him. We can't do it no more, sir. We can't. We can't do it.
Sir, thank you for your time. I thank all of you for your time this afternoon, man. Thank you. Thank you. You heard from this gentleman speaking very honestly from the heart tonight. His grandfather fought in Vietnam for the country, and he says that he's still fighting for justice here. He's on the streets today, he says, doing what's been going on for years, and he says that he's they refer to this woman as a mother, and she says that they're out here doing what is their constitutional right, pushing for change, something that they say is a long time coming. And George Gray was just one of several instances. They say you saw that flag there with the names there. Folks here say that they're tired, they're angry, and they want someone to listen to them, and so they say that that's why they're out here tonight, guys. So we saw some movement making its way here along Capitol in Austin, but I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not sure where the progression has gone from there, because there is still a pretty significant presence here along Capitol between LaGrange and Austin. But the narrative here is the overflow of frustration, anger, sadness, fear, and they're pushing for change. They say has been a long time coming. Still at 88.
Certainly some very heartfelt words from that young man and from the woman who he calls his mother for sure. Whether you agree with what he's saying or not, you can certainly see that he was very, very sincere in what he was saying.
Yes, and the woman who served that motherly role made it a point to bring the kids out there, to give them that opportunity to express their voice. And
this is near Austin. We were going to get a shot of Austin Capitol, and it may be that area, but what we are seeing is a group of protesters who have made it onto a roadway. And this is what officers have been trying to prevent since about 3:30 or so. Because the first protest began at 2 o'clock at Southern Green, made its way to City Hall. There was an event that was held there. And then several groups that were at that main protest splintered into different groups and wound up at these different locations that we've been covering over the last couple of hours. And one of the things that officers were trying to do was keep people from being on these main roadways, because obviously it's dangerous. And now we're being told this is Houston Avenue and Memorial. Because in Houston, well, anywhere really, Houston Avenue and Memorial, in any city, anywhere, and you have a traffic, you don't want people on the roadways because anything can happen. It's just a very, very dangerous situation. But I believe their goal is to block traffic as part of their protest. They want to make sure their voices are heard, and in their minds, this is one of the ways that it can be done. But this is one of those splintered groups that has made it from the main group that started earlier around 2 o'clock, and now again they have made their way onto a major roadway, and you can see them crossing a street, and there are vehicles that just drove up and have had to stop. This is right by that Reasoner downtown police station. And you can see a HPD cruiser has pulled up and is at least there's some police presence in that area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the protesters are now, they're blocking traffic, and so they're on Houston Avenue. They're being forced to turn around, and police working there to try to get this group together so that they don't disrupt traffic and most importantly, don't get hurt.
Yeah, and there, we see kind of people zigzagging across the road. More and more people are running. I guess they're trying to get away from police officers at this point. And, you know, if this was 3-4 months ago, now there's someone's on the ground now. There's an officer on top of an individual. There's an officer who has a billy club out, and other officers pulling up in their cruiser. So this is a situation where things are starting to get a little out of control here. There's another officer who just slammed someone on the ground.
Another person is down there, Keith, on the grass.
Yeah, on the grass is where I was speaking of. And so this is what we did not want to see. This is what Mayor Sylvester Turner just a short while ago asked not to happen. Did not want to see, while understanding and recognizing everyone's right to protest, didn't want to see any violence occur. And this is quite unusual for Houston because even though we see a lot of damage, when protests occur, there are riots and looting in a lot of other cities. When there have been protests in Houston, generally over the years, we don't see a lot of violence associated with it. And Certainly, we're not seeing anything that's like we've been seeing in Minneapolis over the last few days.
Correct.
But even on this level, we typically don't see individuals and officers getting into confrontations.
No, we don't see clashes like this at all here. This is very rare. Right outside the police station at Reasoner downtown, and within seconds, just a swarm of police cars and cruisers to tackle this crowd. And you see more police officers now than protesters, but they're all sort of surrounding this area. Police had 2 people down, putting them in handcuffs. I saw something earlier being thrown at a police cruiser. Right now, it looks like they're trying to just get this crowd to disperse. More police officers are on the scene. Some of them are separated by the fence there, and the street is blocked off. And you can see police now forming another line.
Yeah, again, if this was 3 months ago, or just imagine this time last year, traffic right now, 6:47 on a Friday night in the downtown area, the roads would be much busier. But because of the restrictions of COVID-19, a lot of people who are still staying at home, and so traffic is nowhere near as bad as it normally would be. So that's one of the positives you can pull out of this. But again, police never want anyone on any roadways, because just anything can happen. A vehicle against a person, the vehicle is almost always going to win.
And as you know, in Minneapolis, the protesters immediately went to the police station to protest there. So we just saw something similar happening here.
And a precinct there got burned down.
That's exactly right. So police immediately swarmed once they saw this crowd rushing the police station. Again, downtown at Reasoner.
Now, I see some smoke there,
Yes.
and I don't know if that could be. We don't know what that is. We didn't see where it came from, but some smoke just wafted. Just wafted across the road there, so we don't know if that came from. But we don't know where that came from, but we did notice it.
Yeah, possibly from somebody on the other side of that fence. If I'm not mistaken, I saw it thrown from there, but not confirmed. So now police are basically forming 2 lines, and they're kind of pushing in, and they're trying to get this crowd to disperse.
Yeah, they want them to disperse. They want them to get off the roadways. They certainly don't want them getting anywhere near the police headquarters there on Reasoner as well, because especially in light of what happened in Minneapolis, where one of the precincts was the officers basically gave it up because protesters showed up. And they were hurling things, they were breaking windows. The officers decided to go ahead and leave, and when they left, a number of people went inside and broke a lot of things and burned a lot of things inside that precinct. And that's certainly something that the HPD, and I don't think anyone in Houston wants to see happen here.
Right, and this is a heavily traveled area for those of you who usually take Memorial Drive into downtown. It's now almost 10 to 7 at night, so if you had plans, we encourage you to stay off of Memorial heading into downtown, because all the roads are blocked right there on Houston Ave by the police station, where a group of protesters have made their way. 2 people were taken into custody, and police there have again formed a line, a human chain, and they are working to get the protesters out of the area and off the streets. The whole idea has been peaceful protest in downtown Houston, not blocking streets. Mayor Sylvester Turner was on our